Good morning, Debbie Elder here with Shady Oak Primary School, and we're going to continue with our series on questions you should ask when you're looking at enrolling your child in school. So the second question is, does the school allow your child to have content mastery, or are they simply rushing through material? We're seeing as students are forced to keep up for standardized testing, the pace is incredibly fast, and that really doesn't instill a love of learning or allow students to get engaged or to ask questions or to go deep into content. I think that's a big problem. Elementary school has two purposes. One, to instill a love of learning, and two, to ensure the child has a strong base in their foundational learning skills in reading, writing, and arithmetic. Everything else is gravy. And so being able to individualize curriculum for students, being able to truly meet them where they are, is a very important thing that parents need to address when they're interviewing possible schools for their child. If you think about a child, there's lots going on biologically, socially, emotionally, spiritually, that need to come into the mix, that need to be addressed. If we simply focus on them like little machines coming in to learn every day, we're going to miss the boat. So if you think of a child almost as a Chinese bamboo tree, and by that I mean, for those of you that are not aware, a Chinese bamboo tree requires 5 years of fertilization and watering on a daily basis before there's any growth above the surface. And then it shoots up crazy high very, very quickly. Well, children are having periods of growth. They have a growth spurt, or something happens at home, or their feelings get hurt by one of their classmates. That all of those things can prevent learning from happening and provide learning gaps. And so we need to be able to circle back to ensure that they truly are getting the content that they need. Content mastery is super important. You can't build up high and strong if your foundation is weak. And so taking the time to ensure that they truly have what they need before they go forward is really, really important. I know for us, we use a system called critiques in our math class. And what that means is if you as a student receive a score of less than 90, then you must go back and critique your work. And it's a 3-step process. What did you get wrong? Why is it wrong? What did you do? And what's the correct answer? And those need to be done in complete sentences so that students get the idea that it's okay to make mistakes, but it's really not okay to make the same mistake over and over again. And what we see from our students is a real increase in their ability to slow down, to check their work, to be not so sloppy, right? They don't want to be making the mistake that a 2 looks like a 5. They want to get their answers right. So they start to implement measures that allow them to be successful in a much shorter period of time. And so although they might not like critiques, they understand the value of them. And we don't allow them to use the same excuse more than once. So you told me you rushed through your work and that's why you got it wrong. So now you've learned from that mistake. Making continuous mistakes that are new is much different than repeating the same mistake over and over again. And so I really want to encourage you as you go through this series with me to take note of these questions, right? To make sure that you understand that going deep into the content, truly understanding what your child is learning is really important. Another thing that we do that helps extend the learning into the home is every Monday, we send home specific questions that you can ask your child about what they are studying in the classroom. Because children, when asked, how was your day, are simply going to tell you it was okay, or I don't know what I did, or I mean, that's a long period of time for an 8-year-old. But if you were to able to ask specific questions that the teacher has given you about what they're learning in the classroom, you can trigger responses, and then you can extend the learning and the conversation at home. And our parents love that opportunity where they get to really sort of be a part of the learning process and truly have important, remarkable discussions with their children that are related exactly to what's happening in the classroom. So I hope you have a wonderful start to your week. Again, my name is Debbie Elder with Shady Oak Primary School, and I will see you tomorrow.